It's time for the weekly update of the games I've been playing during the week. So the first game I've been playing during the week is none other than Silent Hill 2. So I made it to the hospital, but the other version of the hospital. So in this game there's a mechanic, or not a mechanic, but there's like a different world. So think of Stranger Things upside down, where it's basically the exact same environment, but it's different in certain ways. Like certain paths are blocked off, there are certain monsters there, and that's where I'm at in the game. So I actually am a little bit further than that. I actually made it out of the hospital and I'm in the other world in Silent Hill, and I'm chasing this little girl named, oh, what's her name? I've just been playing the week, I already forgot her name. The little girl, I think her name's Laura. So I'm trying to chase her down. She keeps running away from me, and she knows something about James's wife, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And so far I'm really enjoying the game. The hospital itself reminds me a lot of Resident Evil in particular, more so than the game earlier in the hours. I'm not sure how far I am with the game in terms of how close I am to the end, but I'm about 8 hours in so far, and I'm really enjoying it, and I do recommend you check it out if you like Resident Evil. So that was Silent Hill 2. So the next game I played during the week is none other than Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So this is the newest installment of the blockbuster franchise, and normally I usually play the campaign first. It's been a tradition of mine since Call of Duty Black Ops 1, I think. And this year I decided to play the multiplayer first, and that's only because my friend Globe, he asked me if I wanted to play some multiplayer the day the game came out, and of course I'm not going to say no. So the multiplayer is very reminiscent of the last Call of Duty games from the past 4 or 5 years. So ever since Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the 2019 version came out, that same gameplay style. But this year it's it's the same old Call of Duty you've come to know for the last 5 years, where the gameplay and the gunplay is very fluid. The animations are very fluid as well. They just feels really good to play. But this year, so it's basically like your sweat fest that you've come to know because of the skill-based matchmaking that's still present in the game. So the way it works is like you do good in one match or a couple of matches, and then all of a sudden you're into a lobby where everyone is very skilled and you'll get absolutely destroyed, and that's infuriating for Call of Duty. So the biggest issues with the multiplayer really have been the issues for multiplayer for Call of Duty that has been around for a couple years, where the time to kill is extremely fast. The multiplayer maps in particular aren't nothing to write home about. There hasn't really been a multiplayer map for Call of Duty in a long time that has given like a very fondness to it. So you know how they always bring back Nuketown, and other maps like Firing Range. There's no map that is that iconic in the last couple Call of Duty games. And that's been a problem for a while. And I'm not gonna say that the maps in the new one are terrible, but they're not iconic, and they don't have like that really good design or flow that really makes you be like, yes, I like that map. But unfortunately the map rotations in the game aren't as plentiful as I would like them to be, because me and my friend played for about 5 hours and we only played on like the same 4 maps, and I'm not sure how many maps are at launch, but I wouldn't blame you if you thought there's only 4 or 5 maps in rotation. So that really sucks. But on the positives, I guess, would be that seems like the pick 10 system returned from Black Ops 2, or like a similar version, because the weapon customization is a little different from the last couple Call of Duty games, where it's not as like cinematic and with a weapon bench or anything. And the attachments are a little more simplified this time around, but they still have like the stats that affect your gun like they have in the previous games. But overall, like, I do like the multiplayer, but I only like it when I play with my friend, because if I played it by myself, I'm more than likely gonna quit after a single match. That's been like the reality for me for the last couple of years for Call of Duty, because I mostly played Call of Duty with my friends, and now that most of them have moved on to other things and don't have time to play games anymore, I don't have that group to play with anymore. So my takeaway for multiplayer for you guys would be, if you're a fan of the last couple of Call of Duty games in terms of the multiplayer, then you're more than likely going to like Black Ops 6. So I also played a round of zombies with my friend, and we decided to play Liberty Falls, which seemed to be the smaller map, but I'm not sure. It seemed pretty big to me. But Treyarch has really been advertising the return to home with round-based zombies and the returns of gobblegums from Black Ops 3. And on paper, it sounds really cool and really nice. But when we played the actual mode itself, that stuff is there and that stuff is great. But my issue with zombies for the last couple of years is it really was turned into like Spec Ops or just like Warzone with zombies. So the map is very open and everything, but the DNA of the gameplay and the mechanics of the zombies mode is more akin to Warzone and Spec Ops, where you have your armor that you can put into yourself to give you extra boost, and you have all these different buildable things that don't really reflect the earlier Call of Duty zombie modes like Black Ops 2. With those workbenches, those are different from what they are now, and the way the money works now is similar to Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare 3 zombies, and that's just not what I play zombies for. So I like my zombies mode to be more simplified than they were back in Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, where I know the Easter eggs were very complicated, but that was the most complicated thing about the mode and not the gameplay. And I know I'm just like yearning for the return to form fully and not just have it be a hybrid between the old and the new. But if you really like the newer style of Call of Duty games with the zombies mode like Cold War and Modern Warfare 3, then you're more than likely going to enjoy the mode this year. But it's still something that doesn't really cater to me, or it's my cup of tea. And I used to be really huge into zombies. If you ask Globe, he's on here on YouTube, like I would help him with the Easter eggs and stuff. I was always the Easter egg guy. So just knowing that what Call of Duty Zombies is now is so far away from what it used to be, that I just don't have that same drive to play it anymore, and that really sucks. But yeah, I don't think this zombie mode is terrible by any means. I think it's decent, but it's still not something that I would see or would want the zombies mode to go into that direction. And yeah, this zombie mode I liked more than Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare 3 zombies for sure. And that's, now I know that's not that high of a bar, because Modern Warfare 3 zombies was very tacked on. But yeah, overall I did find some enjoyment playing with my friends with the zombies mode. So now for the campaign, I barely started it. I've only played through the first mission, but you know, I got a good grasp on what I'm expecting the rest of the campaign to be. So the campaign is very similar to that of Black Ops Cold War, where you have your mission structures, but you also have the in-betweens where you're in the safe house and you can talk to the other characters, adjust your loadouts and other equipment. And for this year, it's similar to Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, where you have a backpack where you can switch out your tactical equipment on the fly, and you also have a health bar as well, and you also have the ability to apply armor to your health, just like I think Warzone too. Warzone and Spec Ops. And that's something that I was not expecting when I started the campaign, so I don't remember if Black Ops Cold War had similar mechanics to that with the health, but it was surprising for me to see. And the campaign is told through beautiful cutscenes that look very realistic, and that's been the staple of the franchise since Modern Warfare 2019. So if that's something that you care about, it is here. And the the gameplay itself is, it's very fluid, very nice. The omnidirectional movement is a welcome addition to the franchise. And the story for the game so far, you play as a guy named Cade for the most part, and you and your team are trying to figure out who is corrupt in the CIA and how Adler is tied to everything. And you get the help of Frank Woods to figure out what's going on because he somewhat trusts Adler. And yeah, there's this group called Pantheon that you're trying to figure out why they are working with the CIA. So that's like the basic premise of the story. And I have only played the first mission, so I don't know where the story is going to go. But I'm assuming they're going to try to recapture the magic of Black Ops 1, but that remains to be seen for me. So far I am liking the campaign. I like, that structure of the safe house. You can change your loadout and stuff and talk to the other characters. You can even explore the safe house, because the safe house this year is a lot bigger, so there's a lot of secrets and Easter eggs and a little bit of puzzles that you can solve to get rewards. And if you like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's campaign style, then you're more than likely going to enjoy this game this year. And overall, I would say Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is a very decent Call of Duty game for, I think, for a while. Because I think Cold War, and I would even say Modern Warfare 2, I thought was a decent game. But Modern Warfare 3 really took the series to a very low point. But Black Ops 6 seems to redirect the franchise on a good path. So I'm hoping that Treyarch really comes through with adding more content to the game, and future Call of Duty games really have a course correction to shy away from the mess that was Modern Warfare 3. But yeah, it's a really good game. I'm glad that I actually was able to experience the game through Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, I believe at least the second tier and up, you have access to Black Ops 6, and that's the whole game. The zombies mode, the multiplayer, and the campaign. So if you don't want to shell out $70, you have that option if you're on Xbox and on PC. So that was Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And the final game I played during the week is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So I was finally able to finish the story mode for Goku, and I was right to assume that the story mode would play all the way through the end of Super. So the weird thing is, after the Dragon Ball Z saga, you do play through the two movies, Battle of Gods, as well as Resurrection F. So that's good and all, but what really made it odd is the fact that the story mode doesn't cover Dragon Ball Super Broly, and I thought it was. So I don't know if it's something I unlock later by beating the other character story modes, because you do actually unlock more characters story modes, like Future Trunks I unlocked, Jiren I unlocked, and some other characters too. So there's plenty of replay value in the campaign, and I was very wrong to assume the campaign was going to be like a throwaway thing. So the campaign story mode is still told through still images and a couple of like rendered in-engine cutscenes, but the way the story is told is very brief, so they don't go into detail on certain things. They just cover like the big plot points of the story of Dragon Ball, which, it's fine. You can get the gist of what's going on. But, the gameplay does get a lot more interesting. You get higher leveled enemies that will absolutely destroy you, even on the easier difficulty. But overall, I really enjoyed the story of Goku. So I do plan on playing the other character stories as well. But I did technically beat Dragon Ball Sparking Zero because once I beat Goku's story, I rolled credits. But I do want to go back and play through the other story campaigns. And right now I'm satisfied enough with beating Goku's campaign to move on to other games because I want to get to Metaphor ReFantazio, and that came out the same day as Dragon Ball. And that's going to be a really long game, and as much as I like Sparking Zero, I'm satisfied with what I played to move on. So there are other modes as well that I have yet to try, like the tournament mode, the online battles. I don't think I'm going to do because I don't have Plus, but I don't want to get destroyed by other people too, because I'm sure there's people that are way better than I am. Given my most gameplay experience for Dragon Ball has been Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but you know, I really did enjoy Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I will once again say that if you're a fan of Dragon Ball and you have been holding out on getting this game, it is really worth it. There is a lot of replay value here between all the modes, the story modes, different story campaigns that you get. And overall, the roster has been massive and probably is the most complete roster we've ever gotten for a Dragon Ball game. So this game is definitely worth the $70. But once again, you know, it's up to you if you want to get it. So that was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So since I beat Sparking Zero, I want to finish Silent Hill 2, and hopefully I finish that before the next update or by the next update, so I can start Metaphor ReFantazio. But yeah, that was everything I played this week. And I once again want to ask you guys what you've played during the week, and are you enjoying the games that you've been playing, or are you not playing games this week? Because I know sometimes we don't feel like playing. But anyways, guys, thank you, and I'll see you on the next update. Bye now.